Hey everybody, it's Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs, and welcome back. Took a couple days off to get some other items done around my home and thought I'd do a quick video today. First, I want to thank you for joining in. I want to thank all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. I love answering questions and hearing what you have to say and what you think about the videos. So I truly appreciate that. But today I wanted to work, I pulled out, I'm still working on my journal. And if you haven't seen it in past videos, this is it here. And I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with the inside. I did get some of the signatures done. I got some lace adhered to the signatures. I got some other work done. I'll wait until I get everything sewn in, and then I will give you a little tour as to what has been done so far. And as you can see, I'm using the vintage style material. So I want to stick with that theme throughout the journal. And I think it's just my taste. Everyone has their own style, and I really like working with the vintage simplicity patterns, the women's days from the 1960s, the 1950s. So with that being said, in the journal, I have a couple, I don't know how I want to describe them, but they're pullouts, and they're not going to be attached. You can just kind of slide them into the signature, and you can take them out. And this one in particular I made, this was an envelope that I did a bit of collaging on the outside. I had adhered it to, inside a paper here. This is just a regular piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. It's cut down, obviously, to fit into one of the signatures. And before I sealed this side up with this side, all right, I inserted an envelope. I just slid it in, and then I have a nice little pocket here, and I have a fold over. I decided to add a vintage pattern to it. I felt the blue on this was a little bit too brilliant, but I did like it because it goes with these images here with the blue. So this is going to be like I said, an insert. So I have a few different pockets here. I have a pocket here for tags, all right, that you can put in. And I do want to make a couple tags for the front today. This isn't going to be a long video. I'll see how far I get, and we can always come back and finish it up. I would like to embellish this page here. I've already decided that I think here I might make a belly band. I have this wonderful stamped linen, I guess it's I'm not going to call it a ribbon, it's fabric that I bought, and I've been using this throughout the journal. And then this side here I'd like to leave just for journaling. So if I decide to sell this, or if I want to make sure, my whole idea with a journal is just that you can journal in it. I want it to look pretty. I want a lot of tags that, you're able to journal on, but it needs to be functional. I don't want to have every single page decorated or embellished. And I will do something on the back here, which will hold some other tags. So this here was from a digital image that I had printed out. I wasn't crazy about how the coloring came out, but I did like it against this, the cutting and sewing directions. So I fussy cut that with an X-Acto knife and adhered the little, I'll call it a filigree, to this, and I made a pocket. So on the inside here, and I'm only going to work with what I have on my desk. I'm going to challenge myself this year just to pick a few things, and I really like this Delta Airlines playing card. So I want to make a tag surrounded, you know, based on this here. So I've pulled a few things and I have a couple ideas, but we'll see how far I get. This page here, I do know, and this is another piece of the material that I bought that is stamped, and I really, really like it. I like it so much I went back to the shop, and I will put this in my description as to where I purchase these items. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'd like to make a pocket using this here, keeping the top open. And this was just sent to me, and I really like it. This little embroidered, it's actually a crewel work. And I thought I would adhere this down here. I thought about stitching around the two pieces of fabric, you know, just to give it a little bump, little dimension. But I want to let everyone know out there, you don't always have to stitch your items. I do like to stitch my paper. I love sewing paper and, you know, other items, but I also need to get away from that a little bit more because I don't want people to be discouraged. I don't have a sewing machine. You know, is there any, I'm not going to get the same look. So I think mixing and matching is a really nice option. So I think first we're going to get, and I think I'm going to use on this, I can either use my art glitter or I could use my Fabri-Tac. I've had a terrible time with this lately. It literally explodes, but I'm going to try to use it today so it doesn't run over. And I think I am going to use the Fabri-Tac, and I just have to be careful when I do glue these down that I don't glue all the way around. So I think what I'll do first is I'm going to glue the bottom, and then that way I'm just going to kind of work backwards from here. I'm going to try to work this. I've tried to work this at all angles, and I don't know why. I don't ever see this happen with other gals, but I don't ever, 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 I'm going to use this note to glue this, see their glues run over. So I don't know if it's the pressure in the bottle that's making it do this. So I'm just trying different, I'm going to move this so you can see. I'm just trying, I think I will bring it up, trying little bit different ways to adhere my glue. I don't get it stuck everywhere. So it really doesn't run out of the top. I've tried hitting the bottom. I've tried, I may have to use this. See, already it's starting to, and maybe if I just do that, but it's still oozing out. And if anyone out there can help me and explain to me, I've Googled it. I cannot figure out why my glue bottle does that. So I'm going to put this right up about here because I want to be able to still see some of the pattern here. So that adhered nicely. Okay. And then I always, just to make sure that I have enough room on each side to make kind of a square, I will take something and just kind of square it up here. I know it's, I don't want it to bulge, and it did move it, but fairly easy to put it back. All right, and then I'm going to get this one here, adhere to the side. And you can see this is just already starting to bubble out. So I don't know what the story is with this. I really don't. To me, it's discouraging because I just can't figure out what the heck is going on with it. Why it does it. I just have never seen this happen to anyone else, you know, when I watch their videos. So, come on. All right, we'll let that sit. And while that sits, we can I can make a couple of the tags that go in here. So they're obviously going to be smaller tags. So I have these all prepped and ready. These are too small. So we're going to set those aside. And I think we're going to, let's see. And if I have a little spot here like this, I'm just going to use my art glitter glue just to tack that down. I'm not going to do the Fabri-Tac again. All right, so we're going to use this size here. These are obviously too big. We'll set those aside. And you can put a couple tags in here like that. So, all right. So for these tags here, and I'm going to, right away, I'm going to get these glued down before I'm going to set her there. I'm just going to tack this down here. And we'll tack this down. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It's very, very gloomy where I am. And yesterday I was out with my dog snowshoeing, and oh, it was brilliant sunshine, and it was just so pretty. And I thought I'd do a snowshoe with my girlfriend today at our local golf course, and oh, it's brutal. It's cold. I don't know where the cold came from, but it appeared quickly. So I had pulled, let me set this aside. I had pulled this tag here because I really like this flower. I'd like to have something to match this. But again, in my dilemma, I don't always like covering up a lot of images. I know that's, you know, collage work. That's what you want to do. So I think this one, I would like to use this one here, but I think I will keep this. I'm just going to put a little embellishment down here. And I love this gal here. So I would like to use her. And again, I'm limiting. I also brought in, I have this tray full of Tim Holtz, little tiny, you know, larger bits and pieces. So I'm going to poke through this a minute and see what I might be able to add to her without getting crazy, because I don't want to take a lot away from the tag, and I don't want to take away a lot from her. I guess it's just always about balance. I'd love to add a button there, but I can't because it's going to be going in there and it will cause some roughage. And I don't want to do that. I want to try to keep this little thing here as flat as I possibly can. And if I could just find another little splash of color. Sometimes it's more about the color than it is about the subject matter. At least for me it is. I like her splash of red on her. If I could find a little bit smaller airmail, and I separated these out. I would use that. Let's see here. I have a little tiny airmail. Let's see here. Yeah, airmail. Here's a little tiny red. I like that. I do like the red. I want to keep that, just kind of keep the red. Let me just move these over here. I'll put these away later. To keep the red theme going with these amazing red lips over here. So I'm going to distress this a little bit. And just a little bit with her. I want to try to keep a little bit of that white outline. All right, so we are going to have to adhere this first. I'm just going to do half of it. Because remember, part of this is going to hang over the side. So we will put that there. And we still have plenty of room. You can always check to tuck that in. So that's good. And she is actually a sticker. I'm going to call her Louise. She looks like a Louise. I like naming the girls that I work with. Back in my early 20s, which was, oh my gosh, 40 years ago, I used to work at a high-end shoe store. And at the time, that's when Nine West, I don't know if you've heard of Nine West, but Nine West first made their debut. They had Nine West boots. Then we had Zodiac. There was a brand called Zodiac. We had the high end. We had J. Renee, and beautiful high heel shoes. I think I owned every pair of J. Renee's that came into the shop. Very sexy shoe. But all the shoes, we used to have candies. I'm sure if you were a shoe girl back in the early 80s, you'll remember the brand candies. They weren't high-end, but they were fun. There we go. I'll put a little tag on that after, so she'll fit right in there. She'll be cute peeking out right there. So she's done. What was I going to do with this one? This one here, I wanted to keep this open. So maybe I can just find a nice little something to play off of her. But getting back to the shoe story, all the shoes, and I don't know if you noticed this when you bought your shoes. I don't know if they still do it to this day. They all had names. They all had female names. And I just thought that's how I identified them. I never said, oh, she's wearing, you know, a pair of J. Renee or Nine West or Zodiac. You know, I would say, oh, she's wearing Clara, or, oh, she's got, you know, Jane Marie on. So I thought that was always, I always thought that was a lot of fun. And that's probably why I name when I'm working with these gals here, all these images, I always name them. It's probably just a habit I picked up from working in the shoe store. I loved selling shoes. It was a time where you actually you waited on people. You actually had them. You know, it wasn't like today. You go in, you have to. It's self-serving. You know, you actually had them come in. They would bring you the shoe. You would run back. We had tall ladders in the back. And you'd run up the ladder and run down the ladder. You learned really quick how to take a pair of shoes out of a very tall stack of shoes without having to take them all down. You just kind of pulled them out really quick, that box of shoes. But we used to have buy one, get one for a penny, or buy one. Usually the big sales was buy one, get one for a penny. And those were 12-hour days, 5 days a week. I made great money overtime. But those were long, long days. Let's see, what do I want to do? I'd like to keep this a little bit. I'd still like to get, even though this flower is here, I feel like I still would like a tiny little, another small little flower or something down here to round the edges. And remember, when you make a tag, everything doesn't have to fit on the tag. It can actually hang over. I think that's kind of cute. And then it still gives you a little bit on the back as well. I just have fun with it. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. You can do whatever you want. And I think that's what makes everybody's style so unique. Because, you know, if you made especially if you're selling something or you wanted to sell, you know, create and sell, I think that, you know, you have to establish your style. You know, it's like the fragrance that you wear or the clothes that you wear. And then people will start to recognize your work. And if everything, you know, if everyone designed, see, this one's doing the same thing. I have yet to figure out why. It drives me bonkers, though. I don't understand. But, you know, if you create the same as everyone else, then you know, your uniqueness is not there. And that's why, you know, my girlfriend makes beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous earrings. I mean, she just has an eye for it. And, you know, she's a massage therapist. She's one of my best friends. And her parents own a wonderful restaurant, you know, seasonal up in the Adirondacks. And she works at that, you know, in the summer in between at night after massages and all that. But, you know, she often said she'd love to sell her jewelry. She goes, but, you know, everybody has jewelry on Etsy. And I'm like, don't even go there, because, you know, look, when you go into a mall, if there's any malls left, I'm going to see if I can find a little saying to put on here as well. So hold on, I want to get my Tim Holtz book here. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got it. You know, if you go into a mall, there's a jewelry store on every corner. So everybody has their own style, and you just have to take risks. So I think this would be cute. Hold on tight to your dreams. Because aren't we all dreamers? Aren't we always dreaming for, I wouldn't say necessarily something better, but we're either dreaming, you know, that I'm always dreaming, you know, why can't things be the way they used to be? Oh, if I could just go back, if I could just go back to the 60s, early 60s and 70s. Oh my gosh, it would be wonderful. So you dream about the lottery, winning the lottery, the Mega Millions. There's so many things to dream about. Dreaming of owning your own home. Although nowadays I'm between taxation and I even wonder if it is nice to, I own my own home and it is nice, but between taxes and upkeep and maintenance, and every time you turn around, you're shelling out money to do something else. Okay, there we go. So here's the second tag for that. I think they're actually quite cute. And then they will tuck right into here. And I could even put this one. I can't put that one there. That's a little too, I can tuck them here. I could actually put her up here. She's kind of cute right there. I can tuck this one inside here. And we will do one more. I would like to have a third one to put in here. Now, I'm wondering, I could put, now this is part of my collage board that I have made, and you can look back in one of my past videos. I made a nice collage board, and I have been cutting this as I need it. But maybe, I was going to try to use this one as a belly band, but maybe I could take this here and I could just cut a nice, a tall piece that could tuck right into there, in here. But let me think about that. We can always come back to it. I want to go over to the back here, I think. This is where I wanted to have the belly band. I have this one here, which I just love. I just think this is really pretty. So on this one here, I would like to, I was thinking about putting a belly band here. That's why I took this out and making a lovely tag to put into the belly band. The other thing we could do, if I didn't want to work on this one, I also thought, I have an envelope here, and I do like these windows. I thought maybe this might be kind of fun. Maybe we could do this. I could make a, I'm just folding this for now. I'd like to make a back pocket for here where you could slide a note, a tag in here. So it's rests in here, and then we can have another tag in here. And here I could use, I think, one of the larger tags. I'll be able to fit a larger tag in there. So let's work on that. Because I have an idea. So that's always good because I'm not fumbling. Okay, so I do want to, seeing that I cut this, I can either do top or bottom now, or I'm sorry, top or side. I'm still thinking I would like to do a side pocket. And I think what I'll do is when I decorate the outside, I will just make a little cut here, and then this can slide right, because I think this will slide in quite nicely, and that'll be pretty. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to use this one piece of collage board that I cut off, and I think I will put this in for the background. So that makes it easy. All right, so I'm just going to make a little mark here, and then I can cut it. I'm trying to work a little bit more diligently on my own with this journal because there are other projects I'd like to do and work along with you and show you. But I know if I start, I'm not going to finish this journal, so I'm not even going to. I really want to get this done. All right, so I'm going to cut this just a little bit more. You can see it's a little bit too tall, and I don't want any of that to show. So, all right. Okay. So we're going to tuck that right back in. All right, perfect. All right, so because this is going to be inside, I'm not going to glue it. I'm going to use my advanced tape glider because there really is no need. To glue it. I use this for my scrapbooking pages because I can do long runs, and it's really easy peasy when I want to put the family photos in. Let's get this tucked in here without getting it stuck. All right. Okay, good. So that's in there. So then when this tag, this will be able to slide right in like this. All right. All right. So I'm going to glue the top of this, however, and I think maybe I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't know if I might want to stitch this, but again, I don't think I will. I think what I will do, I'm just going to glue the very top of this here. I think what I will do is, I don't know what I'll do, to decorate the outside here, to embellish it. And before I glued that, I should have nipped this a little bit. Let me get my I should have just waited and done that. Now I've got to deal with, all right, I'm going to peel this back a little bit and then re-glue it because I want to really, I don't want to tear this either. All right, so let's undo this. Let's get this in here. And this may work, it may not. I may have to run a piece of, well, that's not bad. I don't really care if that shows, only for the fact that it looks like it's somewhat of an extension of that, so that does not bother me. I thought maybe it might be too obtrusive or look unfinished, but it doesn't, so. All right, so now we do have our little, side pocket that can go right in, and I'll put a cute little ribbon on that too, or maybe some sort of tab to pull in and out. But first I want to decide how I'm going to what I want to do with this outside here. I know I don't want it white. I am going to distress the sides. This is why sometimes I don't like doing something fresh on my YouTube, because sometimes I can sit for a while and try to figure something out, what I should do, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I have to start over, but this is a good test for me. All right, so I don't mind that. How about if we do this? How about if I take, let me think here. These I just received the other day, and I don't know, I don't think I put her. These are little doilies, but I don't think I have anything small enough. I think I got everything quite large for some other pages. Yeah, these are from Journey of Crafting. These are all hand crocheted little mini doilies, but I don't like that color. I don't like that color with it. And these are, I do like this one, but I think it might be a little too large. But this would be pretty, because I guess this is going to be more like a little standalone journaling pack. So let's see here. I could have that down a little bit. And this is where I might sew that corner so it stays on. And then the journaling card would be in here. All right, I'm going to do that. So let me just move over to my sewing machine, and I will sew that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I sewed the little doily onto the envelope pocket. I think it looks quite cute. I also have these little gourd pins, and I bought some beads, and I added that also to the bottom of it, which just gives a little bit of texture and jingle jangle. So I want to work on the tag that goes inside. And again, sticking to the red theme that's kind of going through this. I found a small little piece of material that I'm going to glue this on, and I'm going to glue it. I guess I will use the Fabri-Tac for this. I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I do have another one of these cards. I can always make another one later, but I'm thinking that I want to have some just a little bit more here. Stress it a little bit more. I want to have, I'm going to just stress this as well. Get a whole piece of paper. I'll just stress this a little bit. I don't want it so white. There, I think that's good. More like a creamy color now. I want it to have a stiffness to it, almost like you're starching your material. So when it's in there, you can just pull it right out. So let's take a stab at this again. And let's see. I shouldn't have trouble getting this out, seeing that it's running all over, but let's see here. This has got some stuff on it here. I want to get that on the I think we might just have to do one side at a time. I don't know what's going on with this glue. All right, so let's try this. So I'm thinking we want to have, I'd rather have this on the front and have this section here on the back where it's a little bit more fabric. All we can do is give it our best college try, right? So if I do it like this, then I take this, fold this like this, and press that together. I guess that will glue it and starch it up. I think I'll be able to get this glue off of this here. Let's see. And also you have to remember that if you do glue something, you can't get it off and you want it to be a journaling card, and it's definitely sticking, you can always, I use this paddle a lot to adhere and stick things down. You can always just put another piece of paper over the back of it. But you can see this glue does come right up, so this will be a nice clean journaling card for the back. So this does give it a bit of a stiffness here. Put the top back on that. It does give it a bit of a stiffness, so it will be easy to take in and out when you're when you want to journal with it. And I'm going to take this lovely lady here. This will have to get washed tonight with all this glue on it. And I'm going to adhere her right here. And I think, again, I'm going to add a little bit more texture to this. And then I think we'll finish this up, this one tag, and then I'm going to call it quits because it is getting up there and with time. And I didn't want it to be too long of a video, but sometimes those things just happen. And that's okay. And again, you know, when you're making your tags, you know, it can take a while because you do want to get the right elements for the right application. You know, and if you can't find anything, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You can always come back to it. You can always come back to it another day. You don't have to. I'm not going to use that because I really want that to show. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'm going to put her on. And I may just use, I won't put anything down. I was going to say I won't put anything down in the right-hand corner. Again, this is another sticker, so I just have to peel her away. Because, I was going to say because it will be covered up, but it will still be lovely if you take it out of the bottom here. You know, when you take it out and you see that there's a small saying in the bottom. So, and I think this one I'm going to do a live in the moment. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future because you really don't know what the future is going to bring. Just enjoy your time now. You know, this day. And I do glue these little sticky Tim Holtz ones down because I just don't want them to come off. There we go. There's another lovely tag. And we can slip this right in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this on here, and I'll make a tag another day. I know what I want to do. I just don't want to hold you up. I do want to use these elements here. I'll just show you. I have this wonderful image from the Women's Day magazine. So I'll be using her along with some other, you know, little bits and pieces I've pulled. But let's get her adhered down this pocket here. And like I said, we're going to call it a day. I will actually glue this on here. And then I will come back at some point and I will show you. And I'm going to glue, I'm going to adhere that right there, part of that envelope. And then I will show you the tag that will be going inside of this. So I'm going to thank you now for watching, crafting along with me if you were crafting. I craft a lot, watch a lot of videos at the same time. And if you like this, I'd love to hear from you. Let's make sure that's right. Your thoughts, ideas, if you've tried this yourself. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you join in on the fun. So, just a little recap of what we've done today. I will add some nice little ribbon to both of these. So we made the 2 smaller tags there. And then next we'll make a little belly band there. And then we made the back cover here with a tag. And it might even be fun next time to add a little surprise inside there. And then I have a nice tag that will be slipping right down inside of here. So yeah, so I think it was a good craft session. Again, I thank you, and have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.